afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting and everything amazing Propagandacast from your host, Imperial Dane, the one, the only Master of Propaganda, the only sanctioned source of companies to entertainment, off here to a 2 vs 2 on rails and metals. In the north is Thoton and Fire&Terror forming up the German army here, the Wehrmacht, with the Oberkorps as well there. The Hermann-Göring Fallschirm Panzer Corps in the south, it is Jove and Alastor fighting for the Red Army. Comrade Stalin and the 1st Guards Mechanized Corps here with Armoured Assault Tactics, Guard Rifle Counterattack and Mechanized Support versus Breakthrough. Luftwaffe Supply Assault Support and Jaeger Infantry. Loads of infantry bulletins of different shapes and sizes, a few mine bulletins, armoured car and Panzerfaust bulletins. We got a penal triple start there for Alastor. Jove with the supporting company start. Thoton with Panzerfusilier being valiantly set out to fight the enemy, and Fire&Terror with Grenadiers and MG42. So we're certainly getting off here to the races quite actively, quite spectacularly here. And a quick message there to remember to please subscribe, like and share and press that bell button. More likely to get video, of course, updates from my channel, and others also more likely to do that as well. So, you know, helps out everyone in the process. MG42 South for 2 with Grenadiers going in there for Fire&Terror. We can also see here that Thoton has gone hard here towards the western fuel plant areas around there. Basically, another squad then connect the following territories there. That's definitely one way to approach the map here. Already push hard in here for the southern fuel plant there with Fire&Terror, of course, taking a slightly more measured approach, since he can't really outrush the Surge on that one anyways, unless he went for Ostrom, which Ostrom is not really what you'd call an amazing 2 vs 2 doctrine. So very understandably, Fire&Terror is not committed to that. More Grenadiers there for Fire&Terror here. Engineers on the fire from the MG42. Neatly suffering from a violent fusillade of late there. The engineers falling back though, suffering only some scratches and cuts. Up north here, wiring off here to deny access to the trench here. Panzerfusilier going for the victory point. Other Panzer squad around the point. And we got a 3rd squad on the way there for Thoton. A Panzerfusilier heavy strategy here is definitely on the rare end of the spectrum in 2 vs 2s. More conscripts for Jove. Running about here, grabbing territories there. Got Maximus out here for Jobs in the building there. That's going to require a mortar from Fire&Terror to start that, or in theory he could go for the assault support doctrine with the artillery field officer to smoke it and that way clear it out. But there you go, mortar there for Fire&Terror, very good. We got a scout out here, and of course all the panzers out. Thoton's going to have counters so he can just hit over there and tank rifle, plus the Sturm Pioneers also work well against it, but it is something that he's going to have to still nonetheless be a bit careful about. In the east, the assault continues here as well. The skirmishes continues. Got a trot on the way there for Thoton. In the centre there's not so much action. Got an MG42 there, sort of slightly shifting about. They're avoiding any of the fighting around the centre. Got a thick approach there by Fire&Terror. Continue pressure. Panzers losing out. They do struggle versus Panzer or penal troopers there, so that is a bit awkward there for Thoton. The Sturmpeil is about to get murdered as well. Alastor meanwhile continues to add in more and more penal troopers. Sturmpeil squad about to go out. There you go. Panzers moving out there to tank rifle grenade, and there you go. It's off. Damaging the engine. The scout car almost taken out here in the south. The assault or the fighting continues well here between Jove and Fire&Terror. Maximum then small shit under fire from the mortar. Very good to see that shit being occupied. Pioneers bringing ahead flamethrowers and engineers for flamethrowers dealing with the Grenadiers. There we go. Maxim pushed out the shed as the shed turns out to be not structurally safe against German artillery fire. Up north here, the Panzerfusiliers falling back. They're trying to do the best here against Alastor. The scout car remains. The scout car stands. Got a truck on the way there. Moving ahead aggressively here for Thoton. Need to be careful not to push it too far ahead. In the southeast here, fighting continues well between Fire&Terror and Jove. Grabbing the eastern victory point there. Pioneers with the flamethrowers. MB45 covering fire there. Flamethrowers are plenty. Mortar fire continues also rain down like very explosive raindrops. Some very heavy rain, if you will. Panzer on the centre point here. Battlegroup headquarters loading out for Thoton. Might see a fast flak half track here from Thoton. As for Fire&Terror, he has gone for assault support, leaving now only Alastor without a doctrine. Mortar there with 1 kill. Back here, we got nothing going there for Fire&Terror. We got the Panzer down to, well, half size, low in health. But they are slowly taking up experience. Battlegroup headquarters take a few shots there from Alastor Strafniki. The Sturm Pioneers move up. There we go. Good to go. Can reinforcing at the front line. A bold move there had been detected more actively by Alastor. It could have been quite expensive there for Thoton, but now he does have a forward point to fight against socialism with. And what is this? We got Fire&Terror with a command bunker establishing his own forward reinforcement point. Hello, that's definitely not something we see very often. It's like a half-track, except troops can fire out of it, but it can't move. Also, it doesn't have machine guns. They can reinforce. Engineers, they're holding back here. Thoton's assault, not too good. They probably should have considered a slightly wider arc there. Perhaps some more firepower. And there you go, more firepower's on the way there. Flak after on the way. So far, both fuel points are under control of the Soviets. Definitely not a good look here for the Germans. We've got panzers that have been equipped with the G45s and more numbers. And the south here, Jove is continuing digging in around the fuel point there. We got sandbags being laid down, trenches being, in theory, prepared to be abandoned. Command bunker here reinforcing Fire&Terror's forces, mortar ready to perhaps push another assault. He might try and support his team here in the west. As Thoton makes another run here for Alastor's position, the house continues to be a formidable bulwark of socialism which Thoton's men cannot easily pierce, no matter how fervently they wish to do so. Black after those should provide the push. Then we got mines up as well, just in case that Alastor's been laying down mines. In fact, he has, so good work there by Thoton. And Fire&Terror commits the artillery field officer. They actually got an officer here, and we got he's moving in with Pioneers here, basically thinking, hang on, Joe's dug in hard here. I can make a hard swing here to back up my teammate Armoured Assault, perhaps deliver a crushing blow there. Good play by Fire&Terror there. That's some good teamwork there. Punishing Jove there for perhaps getting a bit too dug in, a bit too passive. So 2 thumbs up there to the Germans. At the same time, Flak takes all to find ready here for Thoton. Scout car explodes as a Panzerfaust connects with the armor and cooks it off. Consequently, in this, Joe's now beginning to divert forces towards the center here. We still got forces here ready, poised to push in there against Joe. Against to move towards the center there. MG4 trying to counter fire mortars as well. Then we got the artillery field officer moving in. Lots of mines here from Joe, by the way. Very good work. We got Pentagon at the out, signaling course Fire&Terror has teched up. We got medics as well there for Thoton. The flak after having hit, Panzer is falling back. And we've seen quite a bit of action. So there you go. Germans are steadily turning this around against the Soviets. There you go. Smoke from down from the artillery field officer in the building, but they're still up close with the conscript, but do successfully force them away there. Very good, very good. Maxim pulling back into the building. Flamethrower Pioneers moving in. T-70 on the way there for Jove. Alastor could also soon go for one. He's also, I think, taking up there. We'll have to see here if Fire&Terror knows how to deal with buildings for smoke. Oh, there we go. He's attacking ground here, though he's not landing, I think, quite well. The trick is to do it right next to the building, so the flamethrowers AoE can do the job, but there you go. And then it doesn't matter. Smoke lifts and he falls out of the Maxim. Good work there, but lots of mines there from Joe. So many mines. 2 thumbs up there. Take advantage of Fire&Terror using up the pressure there to sort of just mine up the entire stuffing out of the map there. Pioneers head off the mine still. Jove has lost control here, but he's already lining up for counterattack, and of course he's soon going to have the T-70, and Fire&Terror has nothing to stop that. I mean, in a pinch, he can go for Panzerschrecks to try and counter this, if the Pentagon leaders are within territory to do so. But so far, they aren't, so he can't. Black Ops dealing with the penal troop advance up the west side here. Alastor with the T-70 zone. Intense fighting here. Panzer the engineers, and there you go, T-70 racing it, backing up the Maxim. Auxiliary field officer, I think, is going to go wiped out. He's already low on health, and the Max T-70 is going to likely wipe him out. He could try and call him smoke, but he doesn't, and even then, like, the T-70 is already just quickly moving past things here. Not good there for Fire&Terror. The artillery field officer did his best for the fatherland, but he did perish. And fun fact, the Germans had high casualties amongst his officers, in particular the junior officers, throughout the war. Later in the war, he struggled so much they actually basically just had to effectively crew units or have them commanded by officers of lower ranking a lot of the time. So, for example, rather than have a captain lead, a company would actually be a lieutenant in some cases. Black Architect was the T-70 in the west. Panzer was the Strafnicki there. We got T-70 here getting Panzerfaust, but Fire&Terror is lacking anti-tank ones. There's good luck to make a nice come get that, probably the Pack 40. There we go, Panzer up the Kanone Vierzig. In the centre here, Alastor holds the line against the advancing fascists. He is taking a lot of damage on the flak half track, and the Panzers are proving to be an issue. Sturm officer there. We're actually briefly close here to 2 German players from Oberkreuz and Weimar, both having officers on the field, but seems like we have missed this potentially magical moment that Fire&Terror could, of course, call in another artillery field officer, in which case we would have 2 different officers on the field from the Germans. That would be magical. Troops bring up the west side here, engineers. T-70 conscripts, Panzer dealing with against engineers as well. Troops setting out of there. Officer, Grenadiers, Pioneers, MG42. pack out as well there for Fire&Terror, and these Panzers reinforcing healing. Command bank under fire, there you go, Academy with shoots, misses the T-70. Troops being shot to bits here, around the centre victory point. Troops sending out their Strafniki T-7 engineers, going forwards for the Red Army, assailing here Thoton's positions here in the centre, but are looking a bit awkward as he's shifting and about to assist Fire&Terror now. Pack forward, there's moving up, command bunker still stands here for Fire&Terror for Deutschland. And the flak half-tech unleashes heavy flak fire there in the centre. Penal troop units being hosed down here by heavy rifle fire. Need to get the Strafniki out of there. Officer landing in some kills. Could try and use target them to make things a bit easier. And there you go, flak half to the rescue. Hosing down the penal troops there, causing heavy casualties amongst Alastor's men as they're forced into a haste retreat. Jove continues to be a rock in an otherwise tumultuous ocean of fascism, and is much harder here for the Germans to break through. But there you go, Thoton sitting from flank here. Panzer is the officer, very good. But of course, need to cover doesn't leave his own left flank so open that Alastor could break it and cause some great consternation there. Now they're trying away for Thoton, probably going to destroy punted quarters, and we forgot the final doctrine here. It is Alastor with counter-attack. That is actually gaining a lot of popularity as of late. Been seeing a lot more players go for it in both 1 vs 1 and 2 vs 2. In part due to the B4 howitzer. Punching in there, going to tank roughing it off in the T-70. Can they take it out? Probably not. Need to retreat. Those punches will probably get wiped out. Be a bit of a blow there to Thoton to lose that squad there. Pack 40 moving head straight into the maximum. Definitely not good. Mortar fire raining down. Flak half track opening up as well there. Trees being shattered in the process. More mortar fire raining down there. And we got a forced retreat here from the Sturmovs there. Very nice work there by Thoton. Very nice. Loads of action here. Flak half team to push back the penal troopers. We got take up there for Thoton. Oh, for Fire&Terror. Thoton, of course, guys are on track. He's probably going to set up by the fuel point. T-70 now 4 kills, especially 2 engineers from the west side. A few minesweepers. Almost got the maximum there. Go wiped out with the flak half of the flak. About to go down to the field gun. There's an opening now here for Fire&Terror to run through here. Sees the maximum, possibly clear out the field gun. That'd be a bit of a blow there. Alastor's moving to back up here. Jove's positioning in. Good teamwork by both sides here. Astounding stuff. There you go, field gun behind the maximum point blank range. Can the Germans get away with the maximum, or will Jove's field gun silence them? And there you go. Looks like the maximum gets away. The field gun almost taken out, but they're going to do this back off and try not to finish it off here in the west. We got the Scrap Hunter, of course. Then they're going to lay it down the demo charge. It's going to force Thoton to have to cancel it. Oh no. Now trying on the way there, punished. But good punish there. We also got 2 fuel caches up for the Soviets, 1 from each player. Very nice work there. Supporting each other and, of course, ensuring they get more fuel than the Germans. 2 thumbs up. Teams moving ahead there, backed up with the T-70, though that's quickly falling back. None of these doing what they can here against the advancing Soviet tides of penal troopers. Mortar fire raining down there, causing heavy casualties amongst the penal troopers. And the West engineers rounded by the Panzerfusilierer. Flak half-tech good to go. Back here, troop feeling reinforcing. Should get that support and some armor out soon. Thoton's Schwerer Wehrmachtschlepper has arrived once more. Panzer going to do something out there for Fire&Terror. Bit quiet there. Alastor, I think, is setting up for something there. He's got a lot of manpower floating. It might be his active plan to go for the B4 howitzer already. Some players like to rush that one out. T-70 up the right in front like Kedden Alpha. The Kedden with shoots back 40, can't quite catch it on there. Go T-70 up the eastern side here. No mines on here from Fire&Terror to protect against such a move. There you go. Pack 40 is about to, I think, get wrecked by the double T-70s, or just stolen here by Jove's engineers. A Kedden coming in. Great hit on Alastor's T-70, but still the situation is pretty dicey. Mortar forced to retreat. Machine gun is about to get cleared out as well by the engineers. The situation is deteriorating rapidly for the Germans. Fire&Terror, those getting the support cop very good. Got a Kevin there being crewed. And smoke grenade out there from Thoton. Good work there, 2 thumbs up. B4 howitzer is on the way here for Alastor and the Red Army, promising an explosive doom for any German infantryman caught in its well, blast radius. So Palmer down, Meldic bunker up here for Fire&Terror. Getting out of fast Osman here could be an option. Could put pressure there on the Soviets. Of course, the Panther 4 might be the safer bet. B4 almost down there for Alastor. That's going to be a bit of a problem there for the Germans. Got 273 versus 470. The Germans actually leading over the Soviets in terms of victory points. Very good play there. Very good. Second Schwer Panther quarters getting authorized now. So they actually managed not to get, disrupted there. Ooh, locked it down the right in front of all the T-70s. Bit awkward there for Thoton, but he is exquisitely falling it back here. Meanwhile, Sturmpioneers keeping the trenches safe from any socialist invaders in the center. Jove's forces boldly move forwards, ready to challenge Thoton. Fire&Terror's forces remain on the defensive. Oh, 9. He's going straight for tier 4 here. He's probably going to go for the Tiger once to set up for it. The problem is, it's going to give the Soviets more time. It's going to miss them to really put pressure on the Soviets. Usually, versus the Soviets and the Wehrmacht, it's really all about just hitting them hard and just keeping them on the defensive. And right now, going for a Tiger tank is the exact opposite of that. So I can't help but feel just a mitch. This might be a slightly wrong approach there from Fire&Terror. I mean, we'll have to see Panther. I mean, the Tiger tank, of course, is a formidable piece of German engineering. But I think it would help a lot more to have a bit more engineering out in the field first before going for that particular piece. Engineers are thwarted by the flak of the Schwerpanzer quarters, light infantry ships for Thoton. B4's already shot once, but didn't really manage to hit anything. I'm not entirely sure where he shot it. Guess that was the victim. A stone wall. So yeah. Guess it's Thoton who will be going for the Panther Force and their medium armor. Would be there, so I don't think to go for a Yak Tiger King Tiger right now. I mean, I suppose he's very close to the target tank. It's just, I feel like just more armor now, while the Soviets aren't quite ready for it. Would be the better choice here. Jove meanwhile going for the T-35. No, silly, waiting for a heavy tank antics there for Jove. B4 shoots and leaves several of Thoton's men in a bad spot. Most of them are cared now for though. Also, Shed collapses under the sheer seismic power of the B4 howitzer. Troops advancing here, Pimps moving through the centre here in the wake of the B4. MD there opening up. Maxim Panzer moving forward to the Veterans 1, banking up here by the flat half track. Strafniki advancing only to be sawn apart, shredded in the open. No mercy. There we go, another unit routed. Very close to that Tiger tank there for Fire&Terror. Very, very close. But the T-35 is already out there for Jove. And the Red Army. We got 244 versus 407. Takes out the T-70, grab the center victory point. Back here, troops healing reinforcing. Go with orders. And there you go. Tiger tank, mobilizer, Fire&Terror for Deutschland. Deutschland. Constantine is setting out. They already got 7-man squads upgrades there. Jove is just ready to put pressure there on the fascists to shatter their wills and most of their tanks and infantry. Not being too bold there, he's being cautious. Fire&Terror's Tiger tank advances swiftly down the road. Could add a pinmap machine gun for a bit of extra added anti-infantry goodness. Also, I mean, he could also just save up for a fragmentation bomb. I mean, a good push with the Tiger tank, some infantry and a fragmentation bomb could prove to be really powerful as the Soviets can really lead to a sort of powerful breakthrough if executed correctly. Noting that Fire&Terror is a bit short on infantry and really should be going for more there, I think. Flak after on the west holding up the Soviets there. Quickly doing the Pilgrims again. Tiger moving through the center. There you go, fragmentation bomb here on the Pack 40 to silence this treacherous anti-tank gun that has betrayed the principles of the fatherland. And there you go, Pack destroyed. House collapses as the shockwave and the fragments just collapse. What little supports were left in the building. Countered right by the Sturmpioneers. A strong, decent push there. I feel like there's not enough push-through power here from Fire&Terror. In fact, he quickly gives up. He doesn't push through there. He doesn't follow up. I feel like that might be a bit of a mistake there. But again, it may be due to the lack of infantry. They got the Pack 40, but there's definitely an opportunity to push for the Eastern Fuel and Victory Point here. B4 shoots right into the mist here. And the flak half deck goes down. And the B4 didn't do it. The double field guns and the H-5 here definitely did. So there wasn't double field gun, it was an H-5. All the way, the good move there by Alastor. A shattering blow to Thoton. He's going for a Panther 4, though rather delayed there. I'm curious as to what the delay for that one was. Was he perhaps thinking Panthers instead? Or did he for some reason entertain the idea of going for a King Tiger? Like a man who entertains ordering a slightly bigger meal than he actually can eat and really should eat. Fixing up the Tiger tank. Fire&Terror should definitely be getting some armor out soon. Fuel cache would all be a great idea there for the Germans. Meanwhile, there, Jove and Alastor successfully pushing through. We got the Tiger tank now being used to defend against the Armoured Assault here from the 1st Guards Mechanized Corps. Aircraft crashes down. Not killing anyone. Or maybe a squirrel that was running for safety. Katyusha on the way there for Joe. Rocket artillery, so that's just going to be more allied artillery here. Again, coming out there. Half a to Veteran T2, in fact, much more than that. Yak Panzer for Thoton, alright. Getting more and more interesting here. Yak Panzers. Ooh, shot bounce there. I think that was a bit of artillery though, to be honest. There you go. Another pack there for Fire&Terror as well. Most of the fighting seems to be increasing centering here, well, around the centre. With the right flank being weakly held, but could, I think, be cleared out with a good push, and the west side is wide open. Something, of course, the east side for the Germans is quite wide open, as the west side is lightly defended. We got smoke down in the centre, very good. Bring in with the Tiger tank here, taking advantage of the smoke to deny easy ability for the SOT anti-tank guns and tank destroyers to hit it. Good work there, I think. They can't quite get the victory point. We got 207 versus 396. B4 shoots, and we got 7 kills on it, close to 52. And 14 kills. Something died there, that's for sure. Thoton lost the Sturm Pioneers, I think, and so Panzers were wounded alongside Pioneers. Brutal stuff in the centre. More war attrition, it continues. Slight attempt at flank here. We've got Contra digging in there already. So there needs to be a deeper flank here from Fire&Terror once to break through. Tiger tank good to go once more. Panzerjägers braving the no man's land here that's been established. Jack Panzer Titan with penal troopers charging for to take heavy damage. Tiger tank there slaughters them. Almost got both penal troopers, of course, they're wiped out. Could see another wipe here perhaps. Oh, close one there, close one. Field gun and A-35 that pushes back the Tiger tank down to half health already, and we got here Alastor committing to a second B4 howitzer. The Soviet god of war is clearly about to be unleashed upon the Germans. And we got a munitions cache up as well for Jove, very good there. That seems like Alastor could be using his munitions a bit more as well. Field officer by or Sturm officers managed it, but it's near Fuzz half 825, very good. Holy snot biscuits. Panzer Squad, they're wiped out by the B4s. 20 kills, half 8 to Veteran T3. That is some brutal stuff there. Trap Hunter continues to shoot away aircraft. We got mortars, we got field guns abandoned. We got another one there from Thoton. We got more Sturm Pioneers on the way for them. Tiger tank receiving repairs here. You need to be careful, of course, about how they repair, because that's a really tempting target for a B4 howitzer. Hey, Jürgen, yeah? Maybe we should find someone else to repair this thing. I don't know what you're talking about. See, I'm fine. Oh, scheiße, everyone else is dead. Maybe I should have listened. Awesome way there for Fire&Terror. Panzer's moving ahead. I mean, obviously, there might be, of course, the argument that Fire&Terror wasn't expecting a second B4, but at this point, I think it's safe to say in the meta, if they go for one B4, if it's a team game, they're not going to go for another one. Like, some players just absolutely love to spam them, and it can be surprisingly effective, in particular in these more narrow maps. Tiger tank advancing here. Got the Austrian flag Panzer for Fire&Terror and the Hammond going. Fallschirm Panzer Division. T-76 fits there from the back 40 Mega. Again, binding up. They really need, I think, to split up their attacks. Like, it does feel a bit here like they're slightly tunnel visioning against the Soviets. Which isn't really making it harder for the Soviet artillerymen to aim their guns. Tiger tank falling back here. Some light movement here, but we can see that Jove has just moved up to secure everything on his side of the road. That he's sticking in with mines and whatnot, and there's just no contest there from Fire&Terror or Thoton. In the centre, Grenadiers pushing ahead there, trying to get close to that B4, but what are they going to do about it? Like, they can shoot the crew, but they can't destroy the gun. I mean, they could shout at it, hoping it just sort of falls apart, I guess. More area contact the fellas, he's just constantly spamming them now. Got the Osprey opening up there, just quickly shoot that down. Oh, that was quickly done. Impressive. B4 nonetheless managed to fire off a shot. They're second also shooting here. And he's round it. A building shattered and turned to dust with a single blow from that B4 howitzer. The change from the Germans. They got the victory point lead still, but the sort of kind of engagement is not looking favorable for them in the long runs. The B4s just risk shattering everything they have alongside the CoH2s. Like, the Germans are also conceding an awful lot of ground. In fact, it's actually with a base in that fact. One hits Jove, who's realizing, hang on, their base is open. Let's have some fun. He's actually going to raid here. Fire&Terror's base with his T-45 there. So it definitely feels like the Germans are basically just sort of switched over to a defensive strategy where they try to hold these 2 victory points no matter the cost. But of course, that just means they're really big targets for the artillery. So they're likely going to need, I think, a shift in strategy here. They need to get really, really lucky, which could happen. I mean, the Soviets could make some big mistakes here, or some other stuff could happen. But, like, if Jove and Alastor, in particular Jove's not exactly known for making mistakes, don't make mistakes, and they don't get super lucky, this could be a bit sad for the Germans. We'll have to see how it pans out, of course. There's a chance to realise there's some issues with the strategy. More B4 fire. More massive explosions. 150 versus 389. IS-2 heavy tank up here for the centre. Got 2 kills on it. Shots fired. Stu going in, they need to have the pin-up machine, at least that would be my suggestion. T-5 dealing with the Grenadiers. Target tank holding back, not fully repaired there. Seems like the German strategy is having some issues, and then go another B4 shot. More units there. Shattered by the B4s, more air reconnaissance. Almost ace level on that B4 howitzer, by the way. Good God, and we got more stuff being called in there. Aircraft shot down, need to be careful not to bunch up so much. I mean, they should be at this point aware what happens if anything's like presenting a good target once the aircraft are moving about there. Like, it's gonna get hit. This time they got lucky, and again the B4s are somewhat inaccurate, but when you have 2 of them just keep firing, you're bound to get lucky. Target tank going east, we're going straight for the T-45 there of Jove. Could be mines, of course he has to be careful. He probably should support that Tiger tank a bit more properly here. Pioneers of Fire&Terror having lost the mines. Once we got more smoke to grab the centre victory point. We got an ace officer here from Thoton, 16 kills. I think actually that's the first time I've seen it since obviously they made the changes so they could actually gain veterancy. Shock tools moving in. Tiger tank Stroop moving out. Grenade off, Orbison moving in. Quick engagement against the shock troopers. Bring up the eastern side, Tiger tank holding off the surge advance as best as possible. At this point I feel like this German's best chance to launch a large west, sort of flank through the west side here for the east. Like if they can do that, I feel like they have a good chance of landing a really great surprise strike there at the surge and just changing the match. But I mean, otherwise it's sort of it's looking a bit dicey. But so far the Fighting Isles continue heroically. I mean, they're not, you know, being timid about this in a sense, but it's just they need a bit more than just, you know, sheer bravado against this. Constantly being blasted here by the mortars and the artillery. Fisher they're firing more rockets, more death, and he's actually using the creeping barrage. Wow. Not an ability you see very often. Also, I'm not entirely sure that's something you're actually capable of, the Katyusha, but I'm not entirely sure about that. I shoot him straight to the Yak Pan to the Pack 40, but none of the shots really land. We got no target weak on there for Fire&Terror. Clearly he did not learn from the Venerable Frost. And we got fragmentation bomb against the Ace Field Gun. If you finally got someone on the right flank, will it be sufficient? Will we be able to turn the search? There you go. The field gun is shattered. It is no more. The crew scattered to all 4 winds. And side tank. Oh, mine goes off on the T-45. Stu lands a great hit. But there's still the H-5 there, halfway to the ace level. We got 150 versus 382. The Germans, in that sense, still in the lead. And also finally getting more on the offensive. They're finally realizing they have to strike the surge to have a chance of this. to have a chance at victory. Rushing the Stuke, trying to take out the T-Foot up, gets it. I2 they're taking hits here. Panzers are getting close with that tank rock grenade there. Stuke survives with a sliver of health. Yak Panzer shoots, bounces. Thoton moving up to help spot here. HV5 spotting for itself, bringing the Stuke there. Almost got it, but the Stuke gets knocked out here, but the HV5 not good. Not good. We got 142 versus 382. The Germans are successfully pushing back the surge. They are getting some breathing space here, but they still got to mount for the B-Force. They still got to mount for positioning, and they still feel like need to push harder. We got another HV5 here for Alastor. More tank destroyers to further negate whatever the Germans might have gone in terms of the armor. There you go, another B-Force shot line for the gun there. Cleared out as the crew explodes. And we got it in half taken away there for Alastor. Interesting pick here. Probably for the anti-aircraft guns. That'd be my guess. Then we got another Sturmgeschütz for Fire&Terror. If you could just get more than one at a time and set up for a good flank with them, I think you'd have a good chance. Air recons moving about there for Alastor again. Now the B-4 shot. That Battle Group Headquarters seen better days. Ostman's plucks out another aircraft from the skies. In that regard, the Ostman has been a pretty good investment, I think, for Fire&Terror. Katyusha close to T2. More fire here. The Battle Group Headquarters is gone. Half tank out. Oh, he can't actually. He's at full pop cap, so he can't actually get it no matter how much he wants it now. At least he throws away units. There you go. Rocket strike there. This time from Thoton. Tiger tank Stuke moving ahead here. An aggressive push here by Fire&Terror right down the center. Right into every anti-tank gun and tank destroyer. I'm surprised the results are roughly the same as the last time, where it ends up being pushed back in there. Guys, to another counter attack here. Going straight here for Fire&Terror's target tank. You got 117, there was a 382. If the Germans can hold out, they might have a chance, but again, the odds are looking a bit awkward about it. Do against all the artillery. There you go. We got a full mother rusher here from Alastor's men hurling themselves at the fascist lines. Throwing away the Hitlerite scum. Officer doing his best part here. 20 kills though. Gets overwhelmed though. Yak Panzer bouncing shots here. Field gun hammering away. Tiger tank rolling back. Another Stuke for Fire&Terror. He'll soon have the wanted double Stuke, but will it be enough though? Their forces are being shattered, picked apart here by Alastor's devastating artillery. Volleys. Sturmparts making run here for the center victory point. We got more to the far off here from the Germans. Ace Panzer was out there for Thoton. Pack crew there being exposed to Soviet rocket artillery fire there. And another unit shattered here by the B4. There's another Panzer escort who had their life ripped apart in the most literal sense. 108 versus 382. Thoton's forces are starting to look pretty threat-bound. I think he might actually try to go for the Yak Tiger here. Or the King Tiger, either of which is honestly pretty risky in the current circumstances. Yak Panzer down, pierced by numerous tank destroyer rounds. The Ostman's about to join it as well there. More rocket artillery fire. They almost got the HD5. T-55 charging ahead there. The chaos and the carnage continues. Tiger tank, Stuke charging ahead. They're going for the tank destroyers. There we go. Wounded tank destroyer down, but they need infantry support to clear out the field guns, and there's no infantry support to be seen. No aid. Almost got the other HD5, but there you go. Eyes tuning out on the flank. They're pinging from behind the ruins of the wrecked house. Tiger tank gaining me to 2 seconds. Stuke moving up. Tiger tank continues forwards. I think it's a last ditch charge here by Fire&Terror, or not. Let's quickly realise there's a mistake. His Tiger tank's about to get knocked down. There you go. The Tiger tank is out of commission. Aircraft crashing down, possibly into retreating German infantry. Stuke falling back and gets knocked, and with that we get a surrender here from Thoton and Fire&Terror. A brutal battle of attrition here. on rails. Metals are close with the Germans, and times they end up feel like they took up the wrong strategic posture here. There's the soldiers that played too passively, and they should have aimed more on the flanks. Should have aimed more to like hit them and sort of the weaker spots. Like, you know, think a good push through here. Could have quickly swept through here, taking out some of this more weak elements here, cleared out the B force. And without the B force, for example, Alastor would have been a much weaker position. Or simply a good push through here could have done it. So I feel like they operated a bit incorrect here. As the soldiers definitely took advantage of the German mistakes there. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it, tell friends, tell family, but don't tell your enemies. This is Imperial Links and cheers. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you all tomorrow again for a nice episode. Bye.